Hello. Hello and welcome to this video on arrays of JavaScript. So this is going to be the last part. We are finishing up JavaScript methods. It will be a short one because not a lot is there to discuss. So give me a moment and let me comment this out. Okay. So the first function which we are going to look at is sort. So suppose you have an array 4, 5, 1, 3, 2. Then sort function will arrange the elements in ascending order as well as it will modify the array as well as return the array. So for example, if you want to see, so this will print the return value and this will print the modified value of array. So both will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we run this node array 5.get and there we have our sorted and modified array. Okay. Now, sort optionally takes a function. So, this function receives two arguments, which are basically members of the array. And if the return value is less than 0, then A will be before A in the output array. And if it is A minus B is greater than 0, then A will be after B. And if it is equal to 0, then it is unchanged. The order does not matter anymore. So this sort function will do the exactly same thing which is with empty sort. So if you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you want to reverse the sorting of array, we just need to change this function to B minus A. And we have the reverse of the array. So which I have written here. So you can have an arrow function like this to sort the array in reverse. There we go. Now, using this, you can perform case insensitive sort. Usually the sort function will be case sensitive. So, for example, this line number 12 will print bug, dog, and cat. But we can have a function which will transform the entire string to lowercase, both the arguments, and then we'll do the same thing which we have discussed, that is, if A less than B, return a negative value, if A greater than B, return 1, and then return 0. So this will sort the array in case sensitive manner, so the array will remain unchanged, it will be ant, but cat, dog. So we see this, and we have the expected output. Now there is another function called reverse. Now be careful, reverse does not mean that it will also sort the array. It does not. It only reverses the array elements. So we have 5, 4, 1, 3, 2, it will become 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. There we go. So that's how reverse works. Now there is a join function which is reverse of string.split, which we will see. String.split I have not discussed. So if you join, this will join without anything, so it will become 1, 2, 3, and the output will be a string. If you give space here as a delimiter, it will be 1 space 2 space 3, and empty string will be same as the first one. So we see this in, oh sorry, first will be comma. The default delimiter is comma. My mistake, it went out of my mind. And then we have something called toString method, like most JavaScript objects. So the important thing to notice here is that the array delimiters won't come in picture. So let's run this. And there you go. We have commas and we join the string. The output will be a string. Now, how do you know that any unknown variable is an array? So you pass them to isArray function, and if it is true, then it is an array, otherwise it is not an array. So for example, line number 34 will print false. Now many objects can be treated like an array, yeah. The required thing to treat it like an array is that it should have a length property. It need not satisfy all the methods and attributes of array, But if it is a length property, you can do certain things like what you do on an array. For example, we have an object A, empty object, and we iterate from 0 to 10, and we set values, that is 0 to 0, 1 to 1, 2 to 4, 3 to 9, and so on. We go on increasing I. And then we set an attribute a.length, that is length attribute, equal to I. Then we can iterate on this object using the length property. Okay. There is one more thing, is that certain array methods which are not applicable, which are applicable on array, can be called on objects which are not an array. Just you need length property. So for example, to call join function, you can call array.prototype.join, which is the join function, and then apply the call to call the join function. And similarly, you can do map and you can do slice, or instead of slice like this, you can create from a. Now, one of the important things you have to, similarly, you can call this also. So one of the things you need to remember, that functions which modify the array in place. For example, if you call array.prototype.push on an object, what will happen is that these functions modify array in place will not work on objects with only length property. Okay, so these calls will silently fail. Okay, we have not shown the output of this one. Let me show you. Console.log. Okay, so we see this run. I think there should not be anything from above. Okay, let me comment this out. So it will print total and other calls. There you go. So A plus B plus C, ABC, uppercase, and then we have the slice and from, and then the JavaScript with the base. Now, certain calls of arrays also apply to string, in particular, I believe the slice notation and the subscript notation. Remember that strings are again immutable. So if you call array methods on string, which modify the argument, they won't work. So I think that's all for this video. And from the next video onwards, we will start looking at functions. So functions would be an interesting chapter and very important. We will study several things: normal functions, different forms of functions, arrow functions, closures. Also, we will study closures are going to be very important. They are particularly useful in certain cases. And we'll see how we can write something like functional JavaScript a bit in the next few videos. So again, it will take probably 4, 5, or 6 videos to cover the entirety of function. I don't know, maybe 3. So we will meet in the next video. I thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and enjoy.